What's up, everybody? This Step Boogie with Blunt Rap Sports TV. Y'all know I got my partner with me, the great Eski. And we gotta talk about it, man. But yeah, man, let's talk about it. Spark the pack up and let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about the bizarre shit that's
I
going
just
on.
want to first say, I don't see how y'all the motherfuckers seen, because we talking about the war Joan first.
We can talk about that first. We can talk about that first. I was gonna talk about that.
I do see. That's what I want to say.
Let's talk. So we talking about Kovalev Ward.
Yeah,
all right,
I do see how y'all could have got swayed that Kovalev won. But I'm just saying, me, because I ain't no boxing fanatic, but I'm a nigga that I know a little bit of history. You know what I'm saying? And I pay attention. I'm an analyzer. So, I know I got some type of good recognition of what's going on as far as in the ring. And as far as me, when I watched it, I clearly seen Ward outbox them for real. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you got to fight a fight in your fight, you know what I'm saying, that says something about yourself. Not only, you know what I'm saying, of course, like I already said before I seen the fight, the knockdown and getting up off that showed a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because it even mentally messed up Kovalev for real, because he didn't expect Ward to come back and fight the fight that he did after the knockdown. Because sometimes
without being intimidated.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So, I get it with as far as them commentators and being real biased, because all I kept hearing was Kovalev this, Kovalev that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, these niggas is even talking. Like, I'm just saying, when they was talking about how they mentioned Kovalev couple body shots that he caught him with, but Ward was beating Kovalev's body the whole fight.
No bullshit.
So it's like, and that wasn't getting no recognition for real. I'm talking about combo punches though. It wasn't just, remember how you was mentioning, you was like how Floyd do the body jab? Ward was landing plenty of them jumps. So it's like, and hooks to the body. So in my opinion, how I viewed it, you know what I'm saying, I believe I scored it, because up until round 10, I had it 5-5 for real. You know what I'm saying? Because Kovalev was the first 4. Me personally, I gave Ward the next 5, and then I gave Kovalev 10. You know what I'm saying? And then I gave Ward 11 and 12. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, me personally, he outboxed him, period. But I can tell how, you know what I'm saying, people can say it was a close fight. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, Kovalev is great. He did what was expected. But I think Ward did beyond what was expected.
So basically, you think Kovalev won 5 rounds?
Yeah.
So if you think he won 5 rounds, then that means, number-wise, you might have think this fight is a draw. Because remember, he get 2 extra points with the knockdown. So that's like 7 rounds to 5. But you got to take a point away from Andre to make it 6-6, because one of the rounds he lost by 2 points in your ass, because of course he got knocked down. So that means, is it a draw to you?
Nah, because like I said, now let's just say Ward would have got knocked down one more time, but he'd have got up. Kovalev, if you get what I'm saying. I'm just saying how I'm viewing it, because see, it's about situation. Things happen. Yeah, you got people that, they go through and they don't get knocked down or whatever the case may be. But we all gonna meet our maker. You get what I'm saying? It's just about situation. And I think that was just a situation where it wasn't even like it was a straight, oh, he caught him with a good, you know what I'm saying? It was, he got countered and got caught. You know what I'm saying?
See, for my second look on the fight, because for the record, I'm one of the ones who initially thought Kovalev won the fight. And I think it's only because when you're looking at the fight live, because you don't know what's the outcome. Of course, I wanted Ward to win, because it's like when I first looked at it, I wasn't just viewing it as a fight. I'm viewing it from a standpoint of, man, I hope he don't get hit with the shot again. So now that I got to look at it again, to me, from commentary, it seemed like from the 4th round on out, not saying that I don't think Ward won every round from the 4th round on out, but to me, I really only seen him really lose maybe 1 or 2 rounds after the 4th round, if you get what I'm saying. So it seemed like he was dictating the pace. He was fighting his fight, but Kovalev is a big puncher, so it was like they was giving him rounds because he might land one shot in the round. That might be a clean shot, but it's like one shot, and then they're like, oh, Kovalev, and it's like, hell nah. Even though he might got more pop with his punch because he's naturally bigger, but that's going to take away that this nigga scoring blood. Like you said, he was going to his body. He was scoring.
And them punches wasn't having that much pop later on in the round after Ward was eating that body up. He was slowing down. Them joints wasn't as powerful.
To cook the commentary. Remember, we kept hearing them talking about Letterman. Remember on one of the rounds, he was like, Andre Ward is just backing up.
Yeah.
Man. He don't want to fight. I'm like, what fight did he see? Because like you said, Ward became the stalker, in my opinion.
That's what I was saying.
It's a difference from running and moving. He was moving to find his position, and he fought. To me, this might sound like an understatement. I know when people hear this, they might be like, no, you going to... And I ain't being biased. From what I seen yesterday, it looked like he almost dominated the nigga to me. For real. And when I mean by dominating, not just beating him up, because I don't think he beat him up, but he just outboxed him. You know what I'm saying? He was fighting his fight. To me, Kovalev didn't make no adjustments.
Did you see when Kovalev head went under the rope? Did you remember? Did you see that part? See, it happened quick. And cause I be paying attention. At that moment, bruh, if Ward would have attacked and been on him, I know Kovalev wouldn't have been able to recover from that. I'm just saying, if it was a real live, like,
onslaught,
aggressive, you know what I'm saying? See, but Ward is smart. He was savoring his energy to be able to still throw power punches later on in the round. I'm not about to try to hit you with these power jumps now, and then you last until later on, and then now I'm throwing weak jumps that ain't doing nothing.
It's clear that his body work that the commentary didn't mention had an effect, because whenever a boxer, and they didn't talk about this, for anybody that know the sport, when you fumbling and tripping, remember the part where they failed or something, where Kovalev failed? He ain't really push him. He off body. He's tiring down. His body is getting beat. You know what I'm saying? I believe it was a close fight. You know what I'm saying? Because Kovalev gotta have some type of greatness. His power is great. And he can box with the power. He's not a reckless fighter, because on the low, Kovalev, he don't really try to take too much unnecessary chances either. He's not a reckless power puncher.
Right.
But you gotta ask yourself, for a boxer to have a man hurt and he's known for his power, y'all think that he just stopped? Nah, Ward made that motherfucker not just go in there throwing punches.
That's what I'm getting at.
Because he was making that nigga pay. Ward. We not in the ring. We can't tell. We can't from the outside looking in just assume. Kovalev was feeling that shit and be like, damn, I can't just come in here bullshitting. So he was reluctant, in my opinion, to be aggressive. The person that got the fighter hurt wasn't aggressive down the stretch. And you got to ask yourself why.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, it was just terrible commentary. You know what I'm saying? That boxing shit truly is a science. You know what I'm saying? And it's proven, because this is like one of the most controversial fights we done had. You got some people say this person, some people say that person. From what I seen, the commentary scored the fight from a what-if standpoint, if you can get what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he hurt him, and if he catches him again, so they put him like he's dominating the fight. But in
that's
reality,
what I'm saying. Or just the
Ward
fact
was
that
scoring.
he hurt him, period.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
What's the key
He
thing?
went down and we haven't seen him. Come on, okay.
What's the key thing you said last night when we looked at it? You said, you made me rewind it. Jim Lampley quote, when he was like,
said, look at the X factors.
at the end of the fight, when they was
plural.
waiting for the decision, he said, well, you got to remember the X factors of the fight.
Like it was more than one.
The knockdown in the second round, and that's all he mentioned. Besides the knockdown, and Jim Lampley, that's how you know God make his eye out clear. We can cook it right there. You only name one thing. So besides the knockdowns, I question y'all, whoever's listening, everybody that's tuning in. Besides the knockdown, what did Kovalev really do?
What were the X factors? There was none, yeah.
Because...
And look what they say. They say Ward is looked to dominate in the rematch. Because they say, you know, once he learns a fighter and this and that, he just, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's like a sellout, if you get what I'm saying. Come on, man. So you mean to tell me y'all just all the way out? See, that's why Roy great. You get what I'm saying? See, Roy's a realist, because you heard what he said. Nah, you just can't say Ward just about the... Because you can't say that. You get what I'm saying? When you just seen that man come in there and do what he did, you know what he's capable of. And
Which one? Kovalev?
Yeah. Because just as much as Ward can learn this, that, and the third, Kovalev can do the same thing. He's just as talented. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just saying how they try to trick people's mind. You get what I'm saying?
And how they try to discredit people on the side.
It's crazy, yeah.
What you think their agenda? Why are they doing this shit?
They get paid to do it, in my opinion. I think if you talk to them personally without the cameras, they gonna say something different. If you or they might not say it different, right. They might word it different. You get what I'm saying? Right. But it's like they gotta do this. To me, that's why they gotta have a nigga like Roy.
To me, it gotta get cleaned up though. You know what I'm saying? Because to a certain extent, Roy, he gotta trouble his brain to get the message out there without getting fired. If you can get what I'm saying.
But those the risks that we take. You know what I'm saying? Because he could easily go out this motherfucker and do what Dante doing, or do what, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He could, but he still want to be in the mix.
He need that check.
You get what I'm saying? So, nigga, do what you can to the best of your ability if that's what you truly, you know what I'm saying, believe in, which I think he do to the best of his ability.
I think Roy do, though. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So I respect him for it, but I just think...
mad all the way.
I just think niggas got real ass start standing
up a little bit. I think, Roy, if you ever get to hear this, Roy, I hope you do, Roy. Bruh, I'm not going to knock your hustle. I know we got to make money, so I know you can't go all the way militant against the powers that be. They paying you, HBO. I know you know they got their agendas when it comes to the Kovalev, the Triple G's, and the Lomachenko's, 3 European fighters. I'm giving Lomachenko a pass. He's proven he got skill. I think the other two got skill too, but you still can't be biased. So you know that they're being biased. And I see you speak the real on the internet, but when you on the net, I think you're going to have to just push the button a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I know you can't go all the way ham, and make your money. But you're going to have to make this shit clear a little teeny bit, because Lampley and Harold Letterman and sometimes Max, I ain't saying it's them doing it, but it's obvious a battery in their back to push a certain agenda. Roy, you know, you a fighter. You been through it. You know how it feels to be discredited. This shit is about, you know how they got Rigondeaux blackballed. You know this shit. You need to somehow start speaking a little bit more up on air. Fuck it, man. Sometimes we can't choose the money all the time, yeah? No bullshit. Just as much that fight, Kovalev Ward, showed you, in my opinion, it still shows you a race problem. Even though it ain't really, you know what I'm saying, because it's like white people said Ward won, you know what I'm saying? Black people said Kovalev won. So I'm not saying it like them two is initially a race thing, but I'm just talking about on the agenda part. the powers that be that's pushing a certain agenda, meaning, like Roy said, he kind of thought Kovalev pulled it off, and I think he really believed that. But when we talking about the overall fight, you can sway people to discredit this person, period, and they don't even know that they watching greatness, if you get what I'm saying. Then them niggas got to do a better job at commentating the fight instead of commentating the fighters. You know what I'm saying? Because in my opinion, when you do that, you take away even the fight. You putting the fighters that y'all pushing the agendas. Let's just say Triple G. How they suck Triple G dick for real, for real. Even though Triple G, he just might be a man that just, he's a boxer for real. He didn't choose to be white, if you get what I'm saying. You discrediting him now because people that's catching on, we viewing him like a hype job. And then if a greater fighter beat him, we can't even reward this nigga for beating Triple G. We can't even be like, man, he great. He beat a great fighter. We're going to eventually say it was a hype job because of these assholes. Which they putting these fighters in trick bags, man. Because they want their agenda to work so much, if you get what I'm saying. I'm telling you. That's why when people was trying to call the war fight a robbery, it's only a robbery because the commentators didn't let us know how close the fight was. Because they stayed with their agenda shit. And it's fucking the sport up. So, you know, and that leads to what I'm about to talk to y'all about in the next video with this Waters and Lomachenko bullshit.